12th, 2024, 12 members of Classic Car Club arrived in Germany for a seismic automotive adventure. Over the span of 4 days, we would rack up kilometers, build bonds, and ascend our driving to new boundaries. After a fresh dose of jet lag, our first order of business was south of Bonn, off in the countryside, where the sports cars roam plentifully. It's a famous road that brings them here. Disputed claims of 154 corners, all the way up to 200. Folks that count each degree of steering from lock to lock may even tell you there's as few as 4. It's hard to count in hell. Not only is hell green, it has a castle and a shopping mall. Souvenirs to the nines. We called the rest of the gang to head to RSR for a safety brief and collect our cars. TLDR, use your blinker, pass on the left, stay off the curbs, and most importantly, keep it at 7/10. Inländische Autos, Porsche und Volkswagen, GT4 und GTE. The plan initially was to save Nürburgring for day 3. Early acclamation 1.
Amazing! Amazing!
Spectacular. However, we'll pass over this for edit's sake. We turned in for dinner and a good night's rest. Come morning, there was a splash of rain in the air. We loaded out of the hotel and shot back to RSR to trade in the vans and have a brief for the route for the rally to our next destination. The legendary Spa-Francorchamps. Sights and scenes, a dream of a drive to Belgium. The smooth roads led us through small towns and river valleys, hairpins and vineyards. That is not us. We opt out of the hiking section. Cake and coffee in a castle, and finally, to RSR Spa. Although we're almost halfway through the trip, I haven't introduced him yet. This is Ron. Ron runs the show here at RSR. He's fast on track and off. He showed us around the shop and led us on track.
Bloody hell.
We talked best practices to stay right side up. Tomorrow will be a big day. In the fourth quarter of the 1800s, an early form of stable gasoline, referred to as motor spirits, was being made from coal gas. By 1900, horseless carriages with gutless motors were being raced. 1910, experiments from the brass era brought further innovation. And in 1920, a newspaper, mayor, and racing driver got together and plotted out some local dirt roads that ran between 3 towns. These roads would be dubbed as a race course. 104 years later, here we are. Go as fast as you can, only brake when necessary, and if you complete a lap without crashing the car, you're doing something right. We had some lunch and jumped on track for some photos, then cracked down again. The next day, we headed back to the ring. Much like Spa, the ring has similar beginnings, keeping its lax style. Almost every day is a public track day. Anyone with a driver's license and road legal vehicle is able to pay a few euros for each lap they do. That said, Conditions can be unpredictable at times, and accidents happen often enough. Runoff is very limited. Guardrails are quite expensive. Since proper video coverage of the ring is a bit of a challenge, I'll tell you about one of its more interesting features instead. A short way past the halfway point of the ring, you'll find the iconic Caraciola Carousel.
Brake hard, go in, stay down, stay down, flat, good.
It's the iconic banked concrete bowl that swings around almost 2/3 of a full circle. Years ago, before the concrete bowl, there was a drainage ditch. An old-time driver called Rudolph Caraciola would drop his driver's side wheels into the ditch to have more stability and carry more speed through the inner arc of the corner. Other racers followed his tactic, and as time would have it, the iconic embankment as we know it would be made. Lap after lap, we would drive till we spent all of our focus. It certainly was a weekend well spent. If you catch anyone from the trip at CCC, see what they have to say. I'm sure they'll have a good story for you.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers, bro.
Yes, fruit.